Here's a series of exercises also in the vein of upright core stabilization. We're going to be using the band here, a couple of different movements, all with the goal of having the upper extremity work and bear a load while the spine stays neutral. So we're going to start out with your basic Pallof press. I've got the band set up so it's roughly shoulder height. You can vary this in a lot of different ways. I'll show you some movement patterns, but keep in mind with all of these, you can start with the band lower or higher. Same thing if you're using a cable column, all the same rules apply. We'll go through some movements, but keep in mind there's a lot of variability here. So if I'm doing the basic Pallof, I'm going to get in this athletic position, soft knees, hip hinge, neutral spine, and I'm just reaching out and back. And you can see the goal here is to have my arms be the only thing that is moving, and my trunk is not moving at all. For different patients, you're going to accentuate different things. Transversus abdominis, multifidi, maintaining neutral spine by focusing on maintaining extension, or ergo not dipping into a posterior tilt, or are they bracing their abdomen so they don't go into that lower cross kind of position. So whatever the patient's problem is, that's where you're going to focus their attention to while they're doing the work. But again, the Pallof press coming straight out this way, just as a review, as this is out here, it's pulling me into left rotation. My right rotators are having to work. Obviously, if I were to turn it around, it's the other way around. Another set of things I can do, I can come into the Pallof press here and chop down. I can lift up. I can go all the way over my head. Try these out, and as you're going through different motions, feel how slightly different muscles are accentuated depending on the upper extremity position. You can then change the position of the body. You can be in a tall kneel like this. You can be in a half kneel here, any which way, but then I'm doing the same type of movement. So again, this Pallof press coming out here, or maybe I'm coming up and overhead, and I'm just accentuating different muscle groups depending on what position I'm in. The other thing that I'll show you is diagonal motion, which is a little bit less of a Pallof, but now let's say I'm in a kneeling position. I'm going to sort of scoop down so you can see my positioning. I'm having the arms be far away from my body. What this is going to do is create more leverage, right? Again, I'm in neutral spine. I'm not letting my trunk rotate either way. And I'm coming down. When I do this with my patients, I often cue them to put a sword in a sheath on the right hip. And I'm going this way. I can make this pull come from up higher. You can vary it in a lot of different ways. This is just sort of a basic foundational group of things. Again, the Pallof press, diagonal movements, going overhead. You could change positions, practice these. There's an infinite amount of variability, but they all sort of drive at the same goal of being able to do functional movements with the upper extremity in various positions while the trunk muscles are working to keep the spine in neutral, only moving as much as it has to while the upper extremities are working.